Okay, sorry. It's just your images that make you jealous. That is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. So that's what they're doing. Then let's say when somebody comes and they try to injure you, they already premeditated what they're going to do. Okay. Then there's no such thing. They just joking with y'all because you don't study. Okay. They go over there and you do it. When somebody like when a parent hits a child, first of all, the common sense in them tell them that don't hit the child. Because actually when you're hitting the child's body self protection mode is going to click in. And so you're hitting, and you're trying to get some satisfaction, but the only satisfaction you're getting is nothing. So your adrenaline is flowing, your hormones are flowing, you're feeling good, and you hit them again, you feel good, you hit your child again, you feel good, you hit your child again, you feel good, and you keep thinking that that's God telling you to do that, and it's not God, okay? And you're feeling good, so you keep doing it until you get tired, or something happens where you take some type of break, and then you come back and spank your kid again, because you are just getting high and enjoying the feeling that you get from the action that you're doing. There is no reason to spank your kid ever unless they are in a state where they're imagining, like kids that be in school and they'll just sit there and just thinking, like. And then when you think, what are you doing? You think, and what you're doing is you're pressuring. You can tell that you're doing it, and you're pressuring, putting pressure on your glands, and it's releasing this fluid, and you're feeling good, and you're just sitting there getting drugged, and then somebody's calling you, and they got to run over to your table, and what you thinking about? What you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, man, I must have went into a daze. No, you're just getting high off your own drugs. That's what racism does. That's what they're doing to control you. That's how they're saying that you're black. You black is ugly. What is ugly? Ugly, there's no... Ugly is what? It's a description, I guess. An ugly person, so... But what is ugly? You can't... I mean, it's funny because you can't really describe what is ugly anyway. There is no such thing as an ugly person. Basically, if you see someone that you think doesn't look good, what's going to happen? It's not that you think it's going to look good. It's just that that your program images of what look good doesn't fit that person. So if that person doesn't fit those images, then you're going to release your adrenaline, your hormones, whatever, and then you're going to say, "Oh, it feels good. Okay, so she's beautiful," and you're like, "Oh, but she's not matching any of the beautiful images that I think." Then you say, okay, she's not beautiful. Okay, so first you said she's beautiful. She's not beautiful, but nothing's really registering because, first you say she's beautiful because life is beauty. Beauty is an equation, okay? And beauty itself is an equation, so you don't have to do anything. It's just there. But when you say nature is ugly, then there is no equation. There is no natural equation that you can create where nature is not beautiful. So the only way that you can make her really ugly to you is you need a confirmation, because you're not going to get an equational confirmation. So you're going to need it from your feelings. So you're going to say, well, she's ugly, and then you're going to release it, and then you're going to release the feelings. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to attach it, and like, oh, okay, yeah, she's ugly. Why? Because I can feel it. Oh, my God. That's what's going on with racism. White racism. You guys got to understand that. Once you understand that, you can put them on shirts. You can start talking about it and everything. And what's going to happen is put it on YouTube, put it on Instagram, Facebook. You put that stuff on and you start healing yourselves. Because you got to understand, even though we're black, a lot of people are still looking up to us because in nature, that's our position as natural. Okay? You got these white kids. You got these black kids and they fighting, but sometimes they're together because one white kid can go from one black neighborhood where he don't like them to another black neighborhood and get along with those blacks. Like come to Japan and white people are here, they pretty cool. You got some that are ignorant, but a lot of them are really cool. But one thing you gotta understand about white people is they hate each other too. Okay, I got a video out here talking about something about white people relationships or something here. White people, they smash like Crips and Blood. They smash. See a white, smash a white out here. Boy, they do not get along out here, and they fighting like we do. But the only thing they do is they just don't have those things. I'm telling you, I got some friends. I introduced them to other white friends, and they looking at y'all like nigga, what you looking at, fool? What? You know? Oh man, it's crazy. I mean, it's just like it's like the hood, man. So the only thing that CNN is doing is they're not portraying us as bad people, because when you go around the world, you're going to see that the whole world is a ghetto. You got the little few square miles of the city. And then once you get out, man, it's country, trees, monkeys, animals, outhouses, everything. So it's no difference. You know, it's just all the building is just some construction, you know, blocking off some space of air, and that's it. White racism is easy to destroy because you have to understand what makes them think they're right. When they get upset, they have a premeditation of what they're going to do, and everybody else have all these, let's go get these people, let's go do that. And so everybody pop and have these ideas of what go get these people are, but they're not going to have the same. They'd probably be close, but not going to be exactly the same. You got all these people, bloop, 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 bloop. Every last one of their images is not going to be the same. The only commonality that they have is the feeling of the stimulation from the flow of their hormones, and that's the only thing that they have to hold them together. You understand what I mean? You know, it's like black people saying, you understand what I mean? And you're like, well, no, not really. Well, you don't feel what I'm talking about? What? You want me to go over there, go to the store with you, and while you're talking to the clerk, you want me to put some stuff in my pocket and steal, right? Yeah, well, I'm not feeling that. Sorry, that there's no equation for that, you know? Well, why? Are you not down with the hood, man? You're not down with the hood, man. I just want you to go and get some couple of Snicker bars and stuff. Come on, what's Snicker bars going to do for you? Are you investing in it? You know, all the Snicker bars and the soda pops that you're drinking, if you invest that money in, all that stuff and that stuff, you're going to be rich by now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I don't want to hear all that logical stuff, man. Let's just go over there, man. I'm going to just distract him. You just put it in your pocket, man. You feel me? No, man, I don't feel that, because that's not logic, man. Not only am I taking a chance on going to jail or getting popped by the police or getting popped by him or getting popped by somebody else, but I'm going to take this candy bar and I'm going to put it in my body and it's going to kill me. So this is logically you're talking about. So logically there's a choice between the two. Kill my body or somebody else can kill my body. And you want me to choose which one. Well, you're a fool, because I'm not choosing either. Okay? And we're not friends anymore. And then leave him alone. Leave him alone. I'm telling you, I'm starting to cut off a lot of people. I don't care, because, you know, people understand their problems, but they don't want to understand their problems. And because, okay, it's like how some people, they're always sad and complaining and stuff, right? You always complaining. Why you always complaining? Because complaining feels good, because they got this false image in their head that they can confirm with their feelings. But if you logically speaking to them, there's no feelings for logic. You're not going to sit up there and go like, okay, the x squared minus the statistics of 100 people in this blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And you get in this picture and stuff like that. And then when you get it, okay, so basically this is the formula, you know, and at the end of the result, we're going to get 100 yen. And then people are going to think, and they're like, okay. And they're going to look at you crazy. Because they're not feeling it. But that's nature. That's nature. You know, that's nature. They say when you go do business, right? You're supposed to have an agenda, a plan. What is that plan supposed to show? What is that plan supposed to show that's going to make these people invest? You know what it's supposed to show? It's supposed to show money. Money. When they see that image, when they see your plan, when they see their plan, man, most of them, they don't care about preservation. They don't care about anything. All they care about is the flow of their emotions. That's all. So when you give them that plan, all the stuff that you're going to write, all these words that you're going to write, this is your plan, thousands of pages of. That plan better produce this image. Because as soon as they read the first line, if they don't see dollar signs, they're going to just give it to their lawyer. And if their lawyer don't see dollar signs, they're like, no, and it's going to be a risk. And that one word creates a whole, how did I say it again? It said picture's worth 1,000 words, but one word creates 1,000 images. When you say black people to a bunch of white people, you think they're all going to have the same images? No, because you're going to have some white people that's going to have images of black people being in bad conditions. You might have some images, some white people going to have some images of them married to a black person, or playing basketball to a black person, or making money with them, or getting married to them, or that black person doing something to them, whatever. Black person, 2 words, going to have 1 billion different images. That's why words are very important. Images are very important. But what makes that even better is if you can convince somebody to release their own hormones and then you lie to them and say, well, the releasing of your hormone, you feel good, that means it's okay to do that action. Long as you can trick them. Long as you can trick them. Because that's all they're doing. Long as they can trick you, they're going to do it. But when you do business, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what they're supposed to see. This. When they're doing that racism is a word. And this is the image that they're showing. Better. You can get jobs. You know, it's black people's fault you don't have a job. And blah, 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 blah. And you read a lot of history. Some crazy stuff that's going on because the stuff that... This is video on Facebook and the stuff that the people talk about that's going through with us. They did the same thing with the Irish. And it's the same process going over. And these people... just premeditating and stuff. They understand how you're going to react. They're going to say, okay, well, the feeling that you have is just your hormones. So, and it's going to make you all dumb and drowsy and stuff. So just wait. And then the next time you have an idea, just stay on the logical side of things, because if you do, you'll have more control. If you do go on the imagination side, imagery side of your thinking, then remember, you do have power to release your hormones. But if you do that, then what's going to happen? It's going to numb your body. If you're drilling, if you send a command to your body to do something, and then you release your adrenaline to do it, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up doing it. And because you're drilling, that's what it does. It makes your body move and all this stuff. And you're going to program it, your body do something. The adrenaline is going to be like the burst of electricity that's going to go through your mind. You're going to, and then when you finish, then this is result. Okay, so be careful of that. Okay, and we're telling y'all that now because we're making new laws, and these laws. Okay, because I can get into this, and I can get into that, and I can get into all kinds of stuff. But what it boils down to is racism is BS. Nobody's really better than no one unless you go on to the biological side of it, your genes and all of this stuff, and how the sun affects you and things like that. There can be peace on this earth, but somebody doesn't want it because somebody would rather sit around, get high off their hormones. There's a hormone called adrenaline. I always not adrenaline, endorphins. I like to talk about it because it's a natural morphine. It's like morphines, but it's naturally created in your body. And just like morphines, when you take morphines, it make you feel good. Adrenaline does too. And so when you're gangbanging out there, doing all that crazy stuff, they just a bunch of people high off their hormones, high off their endorphins or any other drug that makes them high. Got a guy out there abusing his family. He's just on drugs. Grab him, throw him in the cage, man. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. Okay, here, let me get on to the solutions. Okay, what you need to do is, if you're in Ferguson, if the majority of the population is black, then you need to get out there. You need to transport everyone who can vote to the get their registration, get their IDs intact. Everyone. You got to protect the young men who are in high schools, because as they grow, as they graduate, they're going to become voting citizens, and their vote is very powerful. And those that are against black people to voting, what they do is they understand it, but because the white population isn't expanding, growing at the rate that the black population can grow, then what they're going to do is they're making these laws saying, if you do a crime, you can't vote. Okay. And so they're getting these kids as they are in high school, junior high school, and stuff like that. So first thing you got to do is you got to sit down, watch this video, ask your children to watch this video, and you guys got to experiment with each other at home and understand the difference between the equation and the imagination side. Because once you understand it, then you're going to be responsible for your actions. It's like, I understand that ice cream is bad for me and I shouldn't do it, and I totally understand it. But then sometimes I had these images, and when it comes, I'm like, okay, don't release the adrenaline. Wait, stop. Ice cream is no good. Just think about physics, and then I'll think about it, and then it'll go away. Because when you shift your ideas to something else that's real, then this imagination stuff will go away. So you guys got to practice with each other. Okay? If you want to get total control of your body, you got to stop taking these drugs. You got to stop. There's these foods, acid-based and alkaline-based. If you go online and you search it, just eat those foods. They'll keep your body like in a state where when the energy comes in from the sun or different things happen, that you're able to be fluid, you know what I'm saying? And everything moves and the vibrations hit the right things, and you'll be able to think of all kinds of stuff, So you have to do that, okay? Once you start doing that, then you'll start seeing things and understanding things. So then when you go outside and you go to the store, you're going to like, okay, well, I'm going to start getting a soda. You're like, well, I'm getting the soda. Okay, because when you're getting the soda, when you say I'm going outside and getting the soda, while you're saying that, what you're thinking is you're actually thinking of yourself drinking that soda, and you're thinking that you having this feeling that's going through your body and everything, and so that you're releasing your adrenaline at the same time. You're like, yeah, that's when I need a soda. But that's not what you need. What you need is just to sit down and relax and stop letting your feelings that flow. Okay? Now you look on the logical side, what are these sodas made of? And how they're going to affect your body. Well, I don't care about that. I still feel good, so I'm going to drink my soda. No, you don't have to drink a soda to feel good. They got these, I got a video called My Foot Massager. And all you need, if you want to feel good, the best feeling in the world that's better than drugs, safer than drugs, better than drugs, give you an all-out sensation in your body. It's even better than sex, is a foot massager. You watch that video and you put the right socks on, you get back, put your feet down, put the pressure in, and just move your feet back and forth. Oh, and it's raw. You're like, oh my God, your girl come over and touch you and your body and stuff, it will disrupt that sensation that's going through your body. You're like, get off me, don't touch me. You know, I want to say, nah. But if y'all get down and get those, y'all be sitting there all day. Everybody, all black people just sit in the house. But you guys, if you do that, make your own foot massagers and reproduce and manufacture and sell it to the world. You make billions of dollars, okay? So that's what you do if you need that feeling, okay? Now, how to keep your kids in school? Well, what you have to do is do you guys even know the purpose of studying? Okay? The purpose of studying is just like our ancestors say, know thyself. Know thyself. Who are you? You're not some idea, well, I'm an alpha black male. Alpha black male. Black men can't be an alpha black male in the United States. They need to get rid of that. I think the only country in the world that wasn't colonized, from what I hear, was Ethiopia. So they're the only ones, if it's true, of all the whole world got colonized. Only Ethiopia, where they say they come from the south, where the Egyptian blah 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 and all that stuff came, because that's what they say. They say they come from the south, maybe Tanzania or whatever. But a lot of that stuff is there in Ethiopia. It's a lot of stuff there, you know. But it just culminated, whatever, and you know, and Egypt just became the quote. But hey, you guys look up hieroglyphics, Colorado. African ancient Egyptians in America. It's a trip. They got exactly the same design as in Egypt. It's in Colorado. They got statues, Nefertiti, and all kinds of stuff there in America. And I read this one magazine online that said it predates Egypt by 9,000 years. Okay, so do you know how to know thyself? Well, first of all, you got to understand who you are. Your hair, your eyes, your nose. Why are you dark? How does it affect? The only way you can know thyself is you have to study. That's the purpose of studying. It's not to get a job. It's not to make some money. It's not to dress nice. It's not to get a girl. It's to understand who you are, because maybe we really are something not special. Okay, we're special now because we're restricted, but we're probably really normal. And until you understand your makeup, how different plants and things, whatever, blah blah blah, and how everything is and stuff, you will never know who you really are. Okay, because you know what? The real world, you don't need sex. You kissing a girl when you're having sex. What are you doing? Imagining stuff. You're imagining. It's all mental. It's all mental. Why? Because you got to have that feeling. You even got to have a feeling to ejaculate. You got to have an orgasm. You got to have a feeling. So you got to keep doing it. Get this feeling. But when you're doing it, you're not always thinking about your girl. Like your girl isn't always thinking about you. And somewhere, I'm telling you, there's a lot of times when I'm having sex and I just stop. The girl like, why? I said, I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. So I'll make them have an orgasm. I don't. And I'm finished. And they get upset. And I'm like, why? You did it? Yeah, but, you know, if we both got the same feelings, well, we always going to have the same feelings. You know, that's like when black people say, I love to fight. If you don't fight, when we fight, man, that just means he loves me and he punching me and abusing me. That means, no. When he hits you, or when you're arguing, either one, you guys are releasing these hormones. And that's all. I'm telling you, that's how we are controlled. Your hormones. You're releasing these hormones in this situation. And then you're all excited when you finish. And you're still there. And bam, you join, have sex, because it gets rid of that extra energy that you have. You know, might as well go out and go jogging. Or even better yet, just sit down and get a massage. Even, it feels so good. I'm telling you, I haven't done it in a while because it's scary. The feeling that go through your body, it is scary. A friend of mine did it. He said he had to stop because he get addicted to it, because when you're doing it, it releases so much adrenaline and so much the stimulation in you from your body that it will drive you crazy. And you'll never go to work. Never. You're like, nah, man, this feels too good. And then you'll get smart and learn to live out in the woods. There are a lot of woods in the United States, a lot of jungles, whatever in the States. You go out there and live your life and don't have to worry about paying no money, no taxes, no nothing, no anything. Just get out there. And if a girl want to be with you and y'all have kids, fine, and whatever. But I'm telling you that a lot of this stuff that's going on and stuff is all based off of an image and your hormones. Learn to study. I said to your kids, you have to tell your kids. My son knows it. The purpose of study is to understand who you are. Do you love yourself? You have to study. Studying isn't hard. All math is simple. The only difficulties of math is you must understand the vocabulary, because the vocabulary is the math. They got this video on Facebook, and this guy asked these two brothers, if you're going 80 miles per hour, how long will it take you to drive 80 miles? Man, these dudes talking about 10 hours, 6 hours. One dude said 80 miles per hour, and the dude said, no, how much time? And he had to say it like 2 or 3 times before the guy realized. One dude said, well, I don't know, maybe 6 hours. It could be 4.5 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, this video is exactly what I'm saying in my videos about free your mind or free your hood, fall in love with education. Those two guys didn't understand the word per. Or if they did, they didn't understand. Well, evidently they didn't understand it. They just really crazy, but they probably didn't. Now, if they said if you drive 80 miles in 1 hour, then how long does it take you to drive 80 miles? Then they would have said in 1 hour, 1 hour. Why you ask me a stupid question like that? But he changed it and said per, and one of the brothers said like, 10 hours, 12 hours, I got it. It's one of these quick, these trick questions, huh? And I'm like, oh my God, listen, when CNN is showing all the violence and stuff that is on TV, that is a cue to you to go out there and fix the problem, because they're easy to fix. When you're studying, all you're doing is when you're doing math, all you're doing is adding and subtracting. This is all you are doing. Here, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Oops, I put 3. Oops, got a new paper. Ready, so adding and subtracting. 2 plus 2 plus 2. I show you this, and what do you see here? Because I'm going to tell you what I see. I see 3. I see 2. Written down 3 times. This is what I see. I see 2 written down 3 times. 2 times 3, both the same answer. Okay? You guys want to teach your kids how to do math? You do this. Okay? You do this. You write. Messed up again. Okay, this is how you teach them math and addition at the same time. 2 times 3 equals 2. Then you put a box so they can put the answer in. You can do this with your 2-year-old kids. Start at 2. You can do it. Okay, they're not going to understand it. Don't worry. They will understand it in time. Okay, if 2 is too young, you don't feel like dealing with it, because if they're moving too much, then do it at 3. They don't even have to watch when just do it. Just show them. Just let's draw some pictures. You're going to 2 times 3. 2 times 3. All this is saying is just write 2 3 times. So that's what you do. You write 2 3 times. 2 plus plus plus. You tell the kid that it's plus. Okay, guys, I hope you guys can see that my 2's look like backwards S's, but those are supposed to be 2's. So here you got 2 times 1, 2, 3 equals 2. Equals 2, you put a line down here. Equals 2, you draw a line down there. And that's it. Then you ask your kid 2 plus 2 plus 2. What is 2 plus 2 plus 2? Of course, they're not going to understand. So you say, well, let's draw circles. Under the 2, 2 circles. Under the 2, 2 circles. Under the 2, 2 circles. You draw the arrow down and transfer the this here, and you draw in 2 circles. Kids don't understand circles. They understand how to count. So you say, let's count 2 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then you write the number 6 here. And then you can just go in an order. 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus. Oh, here. 2 plus 2. Well, sorry. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals to 6. Draw an arrow up here. Draw an arrow up here. 2 times 1, 2, 3 equals to... how did I do it before? 2. Okay. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals to... 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals to 6. And then put that up there. Okay? Something like that, I forgot exactly. And then 2 times 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. And then put the arrow up here. And you say 6. What's this going to do? What this is going to do is your kid is going to get used. You start with the simple numbers. They're going to get used to doing it. This, they're going to assume. They're going to stop. And they're going to understand. 2, 2, 2, 2. All they're doing is adding 2, 3 times, and they're going to get that number. I do this with my Japanese students, 3, 4 years old. They catch on just like that, just like that. When you're doing division, I know I'm taking time, but I'm sorry. You know, you're doing division, you're doing the same thing. You get like 20 divided by 4. You do this. All you do is subtract. You do what you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know why I don't have it here. Okay? You do it there. Then you just do 4 of these. So I gotta get one of those. One of those. Okay. Here, 4. Okay. And then you say, how many circles are there? The big circles. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go, oh, 5. Bam, you're telling us the answer. There it is. Okay? Then, as you start to subtracting, you do the regular subtracting. But here, 20 minus 4 equals to 16 minus 4 equals to 12 minus 4 equals to 8. 8 minus 4 equals to 4. 4 minus 4 equals to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do the same thing. You can do this first, and as you start subtracting, you start to understand it. 20 minus 4 is this. Minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. How many times you minus 4? 5 times. Bam. That's it. Okay? Everything else is just that. Okay? So when you're a kid, today I went to the nursery school, and I was telling these kids, I think it's in the other video, what are you guys doing playing? I asked one of the kids, do you understand all the states in this city, the capitals of Japan? One guy said, yeah. Teacher said, no, you don't, and gave him a test. He didn't do it, and I said, why aren't you studying this? And then one girl jumped in, acting all smart, you know. She's 6th grade. She's jumping in, you know, because I guess the women out here really are the ones who really have the power and stuff. And she jumping in, getting all smart. So then I asked her about math. I don't like math. I said, why don't you like math? It's difficult. I'm like, well, why is it difficult? She said, I don't understand. I said, well, and she was used to be one of my English students. And so when I always tell them in class, if you don't understand something, what do you do? And they all repeated, use a dictionary. And I hadn't taught her in like, it's been some years. I'm thinking maybe she the same age as my son, then that means it would have been since 6 years since the last time I taught her. But all my students remember that. And she said, it's difficult. And I said, why is it difficult? She said, because I don't understand. And when I said, when you don't understand something, what do you do? And this is all in Japanese. What do you do? And she said, get a dictionary. Look in the dictionary. And I said, well, why don't you look in the dictionary? Man, she just blushed. And the only thing she can say is, and she didn't say it, but the only thing she's saying is, I'm just lazy. That's the only thing. Not stupid, lazy. But why are kids lazy? Why when they go to school they get lazy? It's not that they get lazy, it's when they don't understand something. Instead of going to get a dictionary, what they're having, they got this image in mind, well, if I go get a dictionary, then I gotta look up this word, and in Japanese they call it mendakusai. It's bothering. So, and that's what these other kids doing. Oh, I gotta go get a dictionary and look in a dictionary. I don't like dictionary. That's the craziest thing in the world, because a dictionary is your best friend. You should read an unabridged dictionary. You have your kids, you sit in the house, you turn off the TV, you stop the games, and you start playing games. You see your son's in the house, he's in the 10th grade or whatever. All right, come on, let's play some math games. Well, I gotta play some math games. 5 plus 5, 10. That's easy. Give me something harder. Then you start breaking it down, and you start talking to the kid. And what's going to happen is that this imagination is going to go, because it's a free will. It's something that they create. But this here is their brain. And your brain is automatically, you're not dumb. Your brain's purpose is to absorb information, understand it, and then break it down in such a way where you can understand, so you can build. Because if you don't have information, you can't do anything. You really can't do anything. Okay? And there's no such thing as a dumb person. So you do this with your kid. You got these kids that have these attention deficit. It's not that they're what it is I teach these kids, people listen, I got this English program in Japan, and I can teach a lot of these kids within about a year to read English. And I mean, they're reading well. I mean, just stuff like, what are you doing today? I'm going to the park. How are you getting to the park? I'm going to ride my bike to the park. I want to go with you. Okay, thank you. And stuff like that. They read it. They can use dictionaries, junior high school dictionaries and stuff. They know how I'm teaching to translate from Japanese to English. It's to the point now where I got this first grader. They're using these target books, these books that high school kids use to study for their entrance exams into college. My students are doing this in the second grade and stuff like that. They're reading in the first grade. This one kid just started this year, and he's already at a ninth grade English level according to Japanese standards and stuff. Well, he's starting it. He's starting junior high school grammar and stuff. I'm showing them how to make sentences with the different grammar form, form past participles and blah, 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 and passive voice and passive voice, active voice, and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, it's so easy. I wrote this book. English is so easy, guys. What I want to do is figure out a way where I can get it patented or something like that, and bring it to the black neighborhoods, because and then a lot of people say, well, just bring it anyway. Well, and who cares? Just do it for this and that. Well, I got to figure out how to do it. But I'm telling you, it will make English, it will just open up the eyes for these black kids, for, young black children. And of course, it's going to be everyone's, because once they understand the white people have it, they're going to want it too. But, I'm just addressing right now, black people right now. And I'm not saying that I don't want to address whites or people from South America or whatever. It's just that right now I'm just talking to all of you, but I'm just addressing a certain person or people. And that's weird. Special addressing, talking. What's the difference, right? Okay, so it's really interesting, to see these Japanese kids come in here. And they get these words like express, and they're able to write, these different grammatical forms. And they make up their own sentences. They don't understand. They get a dictionary. They got Japanese English dictionary, English Japanese dictionary. They got all the tenses and stuff. What are they called? The conjugations and stuff in them. And these kids are whipping it out. I got videos. I'll try to remember. I know I'm not going to remember and everything, but it's this. I got another channel. It's called My One English, I think it is, and it has some kids in there reading. You guys see these kids with these orange suits and stuff, and they're all in the kindergarten stuff. But what I'm saying is I'm getting these young kids to do well. All of them are participating. All of them learn at different speeds because some of these kids, they go off into the imagination and talking and having fun with their imaginary conversations. But when they're telling you that but what I do is when they start acting up, I just tell them to stand up and jump up 20 times. And what happens, even when they're getting sleepy, I tell them jump up in 20 times, jump up and do, 20, hop up and down 20 times. And what it does is it shakes your body up and releases the hormones and wake you up. And I'm telling you, this test, you don't believe me? You see one of your friends with their eyes red, they're tired. You tell them to stand up and jump up and down, they sit down, their eyes are white again. White again. And one of my students, I said, I did in another class and they didn't believe me. So I said, you see this kid? Because they're all falling asleep, right? So I said, what color is his eyes? And they're like, red. I said, okay, jump up 20 times. Well, just jump up 20 times. That's it. Just real easy. And they get up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they sit down. I look at his eyes. And they're like, oh my God, it's white. And then I don't believe it. So, I have all of them do that. And they all do it. They tripping like, oh my God. I said, listen, when you're in school and you get tired, just ask the teacher, can you jump up 20 times? And they might do it a whole bunch of times. But it wakes you up. It wakes you up. And it's really interesting because I read this book by John Medina, and he says the same thing. And he talks about a thing, but movement makes you awake. It stops you from imagining. And so these kids that are sitting there and they're all dazed and they all and all this stuff, what they're doing is they're in a permanent, their valves are in a permanent open position. So when you jump up and down, it'll close it and then it'll come back to reality. And that's all. Okay? And so they don't need the drugs. And you guys try it. You can try it at home. Then you go to the schools and you tell the teachers this. And of course, they're not going to do it because the doctors and everything will want their money and stuff because they don't really care about the kids. They just want the cash so they can go overseas and get the whatever and stuff like that. And they don't care. Okay? And then they go to please, well, that's not good. But you've proven it at home. And then you can prove it. You can make videos. The internet is real good. Use it. Free everyone's minds. Okay? Because money, your kids going to school, their money, blah, blah, blah. That's not what life's all about because really people don't care about money. It's not, they don't work for the money. They work for the things that they can do with the money so that they can fill out their imaginations that they have. Well, if I got money, I can take this fine girl and have this steak dinner that's going to give me cancer in 10 years and I'll be dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you guys are crazy, right? So that's what you do with your kids. Okay, you got to sit down. You got to read books together. When you start reading these books together, you tell your kids when you're reading and you're studying philosophy and all of this stuff, like philosophy is just someone's point of view. And it might not be right for you, but it's just something you got to study. So that's why you have to understand the components of what English is. Basically, it's simple. It's who, what, when, why, where, which, how. And you got action verbs, be verbs, module verbs, who, what, when, where, why, which, how. That's English. And then you got to understand what is what is what is what is what. Okay, you got the articles, a and the. You got the adverb, you got the adjective, and then you got the noun. The adverb is just feeling. That's what they're screwing you with the feeling. Okay, and then the adjective is just description, how big it is, the color, whatever. And then a noun is just the object. So they're saying a very bright red apple. So in the very and the bright, there are emotions. So very, it's a lot. So you like, I gotta release it. Oh, that means I gotta release a lot of adrenaline and whatever. You roar into your body. And then it's bright. It's exciting. So you got to release more hormones. And then bright red. Okay, red. But how red is it? So you get this real dark red. Like red. And then what is it? An apple, a big, very big red apple. And you're like, ah. And you're getting excited. But what are you getting excited about? You're not getting excited. Your body is just reacting to the hormones that's in your body. You guys, this is simple. You can stop if you don't want the police and you don't like them. Stop doing the crime. Stop doing the crime by stop imagining things. You have more than enough money. If you study, if you can watch this on YouTube, when you finish on a computer, you look up foods. Just look up alkaline-based foods, and they're going to have a list. All the ones that are alkaline, they say on like 20% of acid. But acid stuff, if you lower your pH a certain point, you're going to get sick. They say you don't necessarily have to eat from here, but that's just a money thing. But if you know this is good, well, for black people anyway, you only have to eat this because in Africa you only ate natural foods. And I kind of find it saying like carrots is created and all this stuff. So I got to go back and research that stuff. But if you eat the natural foods, you'll heal yourself. You don't need that much food. Okay, you got to eat food that are live. In other words, food that got water in it still pretty much. They still have those alkaline and minerals and stuff in it. Sure, you eat meat, you might get the vitamins out, but the leftover product, if it's just sitting there, then it's going to decompose, and that's going to make you sick and stuff like that. Unless then you got detox, and how you detox, basically you just have to take out the poison in your body. But if you never put the poison in it, and the first time, then you won't have to take it out, and blah, blah, this, and it's just this whole thing that's going on. So you got to sit down and you got to tell your kids, listen, I know the problem, honey. I know the problem. When your husband go to work, he comes home, and instead of he's dealing with the boss, instead of laughing at the boss, saying, hey, boss, you're imagining too much. Then what's going to happen is once you black people start to get control of your imagination, then you can write your papers, you can put it on YouTube, and you can pass it out in the street. And once people start talking about it, then the whole black and white rural relationship has to change. It has to change, because once people understand that the only reason that they're reacting off of an imagination thing is because of their hormones, and they've been lied to that their hormones is like the Holy Ghost or some confirmation from God to do that act, whether it's good or bad. Because we're taught if you got a good feeling, then that means it's something good to do, and that's not wrong. If it's an equation, you just stay on this side. But you got to understand that you got these people that are mentally ill, they are sick, and they're going to use that as an excuse, and then they're going to say, oh, well, you can't prove premeditated murder. Well, they had the weapon, they pressed it, and this and this and that. So, well, blah, 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 and it's just them. And maybe they're mentally ill. I think a lot of them are. So, that's your cue. Do that. You got to study so you can learn for yourself. If you don't have money, if you stop eating all that junk food, stop spending your money for those chemicals in your hair, create your own clothes. Do your own clothes. You know what I'm saying? Do that yourself. Okay? And you keep the money in the neighborhood. In Japan, they sport in black culture. These These Japanese girls are here talking about we black women. But they are black. When you look at them, they look just like black women, light-skinned black women. If you look at the history of Japan, before World War II, they were dark-skinned. And then something happened, and they got light. Oh, it takes 1,000. No, it does not. It takes one birth to change. You don't believe me? You look at my friends who got dark family, dark parents, and they come out light. And then when the dark kids start normal, start talking about the light kids because something's wrong with them, made them lighter, then these light kids are going to get upset, and they're going to get together, and they're going to study, and we're going to get them. We're going to get them. And that's what they did. They came and got us. So you can fix it, but you got to understand what your hormones are. And you got to understand that they have a job. And until you can, and I'm telling you, once you understand it, your whole concept of God, the Christian thing is going to go. Because maybe the real God that's of these equation sites is going to come in. Going to say, I've been waiting for you. Waiting for you to get over here. Stop the imagining. Because even in the Bible, they got a lot of books saying that Christianity is all made up. A lot of the stories that are in the Bible, they're at first, astrology and this and that, and now it's there a lot of folklores or fables and stories to scare kids and stuff, and they're doing a good job of scaring adults. If you do that, you're gonna go to hell, and da 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 da. And I mean, if you really look at the Bible, all Jesus is saying this is be good, study and be good. Study, you will be good, because unless you're just mentally ill, you're not gonna do anything to hurt yourself. Okay, a lot of this stuff, black people, you have to realize that you have a lot of money. But because you're ignorant means because you don't know how to manage it, you don't know what financing means. Like, I can explain to a 5-year-old kid, real simple terms, what financing is. Do you know what it is? I can do it. Tell me. Write in the thing, comment section. Financing is just, stop. Okay, write it and click it back. Finance, you see a kid walking into a store, $2, going to buy a candy bar. And you saying, what are you doing with the money? He says, I'm going to buy a candy bar. And you say, why? Because I want to eat the candy bar and it tastes good. And you say, but if you buy this candy bar for this $2, how much money are you going to get back? And the kid's going to say nothing. Then the person said, well, you might as well give me the money, or toss it in the trash, because that's what you're doing. You're buying nothing. You get nothing for it, so you're just throwing your money away. And the kid like, well, do you want to throw your money away? The kid like, no. I said, okay, do you know what financing is? And they say, no. I said, what financing is you take your $2 and you save it till you get older. Then you start reading about, about financing. But what you do is you go and you find other countries, stocks and stuff like that, not other countries, but other companies, and you take your $20,000, whatever, and you give it to them. You loan it to them so that they can go out and chop down trees or grow whatever, pay other people to make a candy bar for 10 cents or 5 cents a bar or 3 cents a bar, because constantly, once you get the system, the price drops for 3 cents a bar or whatever, 2 cents a bar, 1 cent a bar, and then they charge $2 for the bar, and then they'll keep their the cost of it to be deducted, and you'll subtract the cost and everything, and then the profits they're going to give you at the end of the year a certain percent. You want money, right? Yeah. I said, okay, so that's what financing is. You give a person or a company your money so that they can make a product, so that they can sell it at a higher price, and then they will give you a portion of the money based on how much you gave them back to you. That's financing. And the kid like, that's it? So if I go give my money to this company at the end of the year, I'm going to get some money back? Yeah, that's it. You can buy the candy bar and kill yourself, whatever. That's fine. Okay, whatever. But first, invest. Because you see all your friends, you guys out there eating a candy bar and all that stuff. People are making money off you. And they're laughing at you. Because you can make money too. But you don't know. Because you didn't take time to study. Because somebody said finance. Oh, finance. Oh my God, it's hard. And I just told you what finance is. It's just giving companies some money to make something, and they give you part of the extra money that's left over. That's it. Is that difficult? No. And it makes sense to them. And it makes sense to them. And they get excited like, wow, now I understand. But there's no feelings. They're like, wow, I understand now. But there's not so many feelings going through. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, go to their friends, oh man, we get the money together and let's do this. And they go searching and whatever. And kids are smart, they're not stupid and stuff. And they go to them, all of a sudden they saving their money. And bam, next thing you know, they rolling around in nice cars and going to the best schools. Not even going to them schools, they just built their own schools and stuff. Listen, people. A lot of stuff that you're reading is a lot of outdated stuff that probably don't even apply to us these days. You guys go overseas and you send brothers overseas and you write about the history of these culture of the country of Japan by talking to the people in Japan. Because they know their own country. That's like somebody that's like a Canadian person going to come over to America going to tell me about black people. And I'm like, nigga, please. You gonna? This one Canadian friend of mine. I majored in American Black Studies. Well, I grew up in it. I was there. Well, I'm like, what are they telling y'all? Y'all black people. I'm like, boom. I don't hit them, but just make them. I'm like, you don't tell me about me. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about us. Well, I know that. Wait, listen, man, listen. You got to understand that you are an ancestor of a runaway slave, and the people in Canada dogging you out too. Okay, so don't come and tell me this crap. You think you better and all this stuff. You're not better, because if you were better, then we wouldn't be friends for all these times, this long time, and you wouldn't never even watch my "Do You Love Black Men" videos, because you probably wouldn't have needed it. Because you probably already, or you would agree with it or whatever. But all I'm just saying is a lot of that stuff is outdated. And a lot of stuff that's funny is because if they really did their studies, they would have understood what was really going on. And they would have understood themselves, and there would have been this big connection instead of this division. Well, I know y'all, you don't know anything, but I know you. I know your history. What's my history? You're a kid of an ex-runaway slave. So it's funny. But you guys, what you do is you nominate your kids that you want to go to college. You protect them. You go to the gangbangers. You tell the gangbangers, listen, you guys are smart. This and that. You tell them this. If they still want to go out and gangbang, okay, cool. You gangbang and everything, but at least be smart. This is what's going on. This is what you're doing. You're living on this side, the imaginary side. Get on this side. And it's going to take some time. But you start with them from the beginning. 1 + 1, 2 + 2. They're out there. I got to get this money. I got to get this sex. You tell them. All sex is emotion. You sit down and you say, okay, when you see a beautiful woman, what are you thinking? You're like, I'm thinking this. I do this with my friends. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that. I'm thinking this. And blah, blah, blah. She's so fine. And I'm like, okay, so basically what you're doing is you're telling me all this stuff and how you feel. Oh, I feel good, and I'm like this and I'm this and that. I'm like, okay, so why you want to do it? So why are you going to go over there and talk to her when you already did everything you did in your mind and you already got the feeling? Well, it's not the same. You're right, my brother. It's not going to be the same because your imagination will never, ever, ever, ever be topped by the real thing. Because what do black men do? They see that girl, she's so bad, blah, blah, blah. And they go over there and they end up getting consensual sex with that girl. And they come back and they're like, oh, dog. Man, I finally got with that girl. Guess what? And all your homies are laughing. Everyone is saying it in unison. It wasn't as good as I imagined it was going to be. And it happens every time. You guys can stop your crimes because it's imagination. It's all imaginary. And it's here that you're doing it. I'm going to get me a job so I can roll in my Lexus. I'm rolling in Lexus all the time. I'm by myself. I don't see what that Lexus look like. Girls aren't running up with us because you're here. No. They film it here and they like me. I got a video called Nappy. Watch my video. But anyway, that's it. That's the cure. Simple. Stop imagining. Understand this, and go on this site. And then once you understand it, write the books, put on YouTube. Everybody, spread the word. Peace will happen or war. If war happened because those people are really, really mentally sick, then we're in trouble because we do not have the defense. But a commander cannot fight a war by itself. You get rid of the participants, bam, you can change things. That's it. I'm out. Peace.